Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American supernatural horror film from 2019, titled Sator. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. The movie begins with an elderly woman nanny, with dementia who believes a supernatural entity named Sator communicates with her through her mind, and compel her to create strange cryptic writings. Her daughter becomes obsessed with Nanny's eerie papers, eventually setting someone on fire before becoming possessed, and afterward, she disappears without a trace. Nanny's grandson Adam retreats to a secluded cabin in the woods to search for both Sator and his missing mother, and he begins hearing unsettling voices in his head, much like Nanny did. Meanwhile, his sister Deborah struggles to hold the family together, while their brother Pete suffers a mental breakdown. Pete spends time with a mysterious woman named Evie, who has lost her memory after an accident she cannot recall. During the day, Adam explores the woods with his dog, and at night, he reviews footage from a deer cam near the cabin and listens to a strange woman on the radio who speaks about Sator. One evening, a mysterious man is seen in the woods, which cause Adam's dog to bark wildly, and deep in the forest, the viewer sees trees decorated with hanging antlers. Pete occasionally visits Adam at the cabin, and the two brothers reflect on their eerie experiences. Adam, who is often withdrawn and quiet, is increasingly consumed by the mystery surrounding Sator and the strange occurrences in the woods. One night, as Adam tries to sleep, he hears unsettling noises in the cabin and suddenly, his dog suddenly starts barking at something outside. When Adam opens the door, the dog runs into the darkness and disappears, and as Adam steps outside, he sees a faint light glowing in the distance, and the viewers also catch a glimpse of the mysterious man lurking nearby. The next day, Adam searched the woods for his dog but finds no sign of it, and eventually, he returned to the cabin, frustrated and worried. Later, Adam and Pete visit their family's home to see Nanny, and during a conversation with Pete, Nanny reveals that Sator is a spirit, like her guardian, who speaks to her in her mind. She shows Pete some of her writings and drawings, explaining that Sator compels her to create them, and while Pete and Nanny talk, Adam wanders through the house. He has a strange vision of a nanny lying in bed, looking frail and otherworldly. Adam also encounters Evie and tells her about his missing dog, and Evie offers to keep an eye out, promising to help if she can. Back at the cabin, Adam hears an eerie voice outside calling to him, saying they can't wait for him to become a disciple of Sator, and they're waiting for his sacrifice. Alarmed, he rushes outside but finds no one except Evie, standing nearby. She hands Adam an old photo album she found at Nanny's house, and as Adam flips through the pages, he comes across a picture of his mother. Evie expresses her deep regret about his mother's disappearance and says she hopes Adam and Pete will someday reunite with her, and after her heartfelt words, she leaves the cabin. That night, strange noises persist outside the cabin, and when Adam looks through the blinds, he sees no one at first. Suddenly, he is confronted by a figure, one of Sator's disciples, dressed in fur and wearing an animal skull mask. To his shock, when the figure removes the mask, it's revealed to be his mother. Her head is shaved, and she eerily tells him, "What can't be seen in the darkness can be shown in the light," before vanishing. The next day, as Adam and Pete search the woods for the missing dog, Pete confides in Adam, and shares his belief that their grandfather, Jim, sacrificed himself to allow their mother to become part of Sator's world. Pete also reveals his suspicion that Nanny played a role in the cult conspiracy surrounding Sator. Back at the cabin, Adam continues flipping through the photo album. He recalls a birthday from his childhood, vividly remembering how everyone avoided his mother because of her erratic behavior. Like Nanny, she too claimed to hear Sator's voice and compulsively engaged in automatic writing, and his thoughts are interrupted by eerie sounds coming from the woods. Grabbing his shotgun, Adam ventures outside to investigate and is horrified to find Evie tied to a tree. He unties her, but she looks terrified upon seeing him, and without understanding why, Adam feels an overwhelming urge to choke her. Evie breaks free and runs, but Adam chases her into the woods, and suddenly, Evie is pulled upward, vanishing into the sky before his eyes. Back in the cabin, Adam reflects on the chilling vision of his mother, and disturbed, he reviews footage from the deer cam and adjusts the lighting. To his horror, the image reveals several disciples of Sator, dressed in animal skins and skull masks, standing motionless in the shadows of the trees. As the night deepens, these disciples infiltrate the cabin, and when they are out of sight, Adam flees into the woods before they can catch him. While running, Adam stumbles upon a dark cave, and the voices in his head urge him to enter. Inside, Adam encounters one of Sator's disciples, who is revealed to be his mother, and deeper in the cave, Adam comes face to face with a towering figure cloaked in fur and bones, Sator himself. The entity points at Adam, marking him as one of his disciples. Several months later, Pete is released from a mental institution and he is picked up by Deborah. Pete expresses guilt for leaving Adam isolated in the cabin, and Deborah firmly reminds him that Adam needed to be isolated because it wasn't exactly safe for him to be around us. Despite her warning, Pete decides to visit Adam, and when Pete arrives at the cabin, he finds it eerily quiet. As he sits on the sofa, he suddenly sees Evie sitting across from him, and before Pete can react, Adam appears behind him and plunges a knife into his throat. Adam then drags Pete's body to the fireplace and burns his face in the flames, and as the fire consumes Pete's body, Adam is shown levitating in the background. In the final scene, Adam is seen sitting in a bathtub, surrounded by the disciples of Sator, and their unyielding presence confirms Adam's complete surrender to the dark entity. That night at Nanny's house, Deborah notices her grandmother laughing and having a lively conversation with an unseen figure. Feeling uneasy, she brushes it off and prepares for bed. However, when she goes to check on Nanny in her room, the room is empty. Searching the house, Deborah discovers that Nanny is nowhere to be found, and concerned, Deborah steps outside to search for her. In the dark, she is startled by the sudden appearance of Adam, his head shaved and his cold expression. Without warning, Adam grabs Deborah by the neck and begins to choke her unconscious, and as she struggles, Evie appears, carrying a gasoline canister. With an eerie calmness, Evie douses Deborah in gasoline, and Deborah regains consciousness briefly, just in time to witness the fire being ignited. She is burned alive and Evie is seen levitating in the background, and several disciples of Sator gather around the fire, silently watching the gruesome scene. Showing no emotion, Adam enters the house, where he walks past a room where he sees his bald mother sitting silently with his dog. Adam joins Nanny in a different room where she sits with another Sator disciple, and the movie concludes. Okay guys, that's all the recap about Sator from 2019. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.